Will a tragedy in London force radio shock jocks to tone down their act? Now, earlier this week, 2 Australian DJs called the London hospital where Prince William's wife, Kate, was being treated for acute morning sickness. They pretended to be the Queen and Prince Charles. A nurse put the call straight through to the Duchess's ward, and this morning, that nurse was found dead from an apparent suicide. Joining me now is Todd Schnitt, host of the nationally syndicated Schnitt Show. He was also the longtime host of the MJ Morning Show. And I guess the first question is, what was your reaction when you first heard about the prank? Because I guess to everybody in the industry, it would seem pretty harmless at the time. Very harmless. You know, I saw the story when it first broke, and I'm like, these guys, good job. Yeah. You get through to a nurse that's attending to Kate Middleton. Bad accents, awful as far as the delivery of the call, but I gave them high marks for getting through and getting that score. Now, do you feel that the radio DJs now have any kind of blame on this nurse's death at all or not? Nah, there's something more to this story. That was such a harmless phone call. It was borderline ridiculous, again, in their accents, their presentation. The male DJ, I think, was barking like a dog, pretending to be one of the corgis in the background. Right. I think there's got to be more to the story. Listen, all kidding aside, can I put myself in the psyche of this nurse who killed herself? I can't. But there has to be more. I just can't imagine that somebody would take their life, even if they were ridiculed or if they felt embarrassed by this. There has to be more to this story, something deep-seated involved. Does this kind of an ending, though, with an apparent suicide, does this kind of send a red flag out to everybody else that says maybe we should pull back a little bit on these? There was nothing malicious here. There was no expectation that anybody could possibly react like this. I think it is an absolute fluke what happened. And you've done this a lot yourself, obviously. Have you ever thought personally after you've done one that that was maybe a little bit over the line? I have called people back. Now, listen, I haven't done crank calls in many, many years, but there were times where the situation that I had developed was pretty scary toward the end, you know, getting blown up or a gunshot, and I have called people back to say, hey, that was a crank call. So the fallout, you think, from this will be what? Well, they're off the air. Yeah. The radio company took them off the air until further notice. You know, these guys went from the penthouse to the outhouse in the course of, what, 2 days? Yeah. I mean, everyone was like, great job. The media attention, both stateside, around the world, amazing. These guys were on all the national newscasts, local newscasts, and this thing went from a pinnacle of great job to, whoa, we've got a dead nurse. But I can't blame these DJs. That's what they're supposed to do. It wasn't malicious, and it was just good radio. All right, thanks, buddy, for coming in.